Hi, and welcome to Story Mode 6-3 Opera second ring bounce strat. This is a super standard baseline Opera puzzle strat for skipping straight to the goal after the second ring. Pretty quick to set up and pretty easy to get down once you practice it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, obviously first get past this first ring, which is not involved in the strat. And right about here, I'm going to stop right now, where you already want to start thinking about what you're going to do next. Because this is the ring where we're going to run along it fast off the left side in order to get the speed to bounce all the way to the goal. Which sounds a little bit scary in theory, but check it out. Check out how it works in practice real quick. Boink. And then the goal. Now obviously that goal angle is a little bit scary. That will be where most of your practice goes, because falling into a goal from a high angle, any free fall strat of that sort, the threat of party ball is very, very, very high. But that's obviously going to be the hardest part. The part that I can teach you is going to be how you end up accelerating along this left ring here. And honestly, I can only recommend not overcomplicating how you accelerate, because it doesn't need a super excessive amount of speed. You just need to make sure you have a comfortable amount of fast. And then the moment you get a significant bounce off one of those staircases, now it's not going to look the same every time, because stairs in ball game are a little bit inconsistent. I'll make a safe state to explain the setup quicker from now on. There we go. But notice that attempt was pretty slow. I kind of just strolled over. In fact, I'm pretty sure the further right you go here. Yes, that is true. You don't actually need a lot of speed at all. A lot of speed is if you take like a wide left angle, but if you go all the way over here, you actually don't need a lot of speed at all. So you can actually comfortably increase the amount of speed needed for the strat over time by going further left. Like for example, if you go super fast, you can bounce over here and get a really fast finish. But you can also just wait until you're a decent bounce and land all the way back here. You have to fly further in the end, but that ends up making the goal angle easier, so actually, unintuitively, that makes the strat a lot easier. As for the falling part, which ends up being the hardest part, I know I said there's not a lot I can teach you about that, but as with all falling strats, you do want to try your best to be neutral. The more neutral, the more you don't press a single input, the more you can actually see the goal and properly adjust for it. And this is a super nuanced trick that not a lot of new runners will know about or be ready to employ, but I'll advise you to try it out anyway. There's a little bit of party ball manipulation you can do to make entering the goal a little bit easier. As you may or may not know, when you move the joystick, both the monkey and the party ball swings around. So, by making sure our last input before entering the goal is an up input, we ensure the party ball is swinging outwards as opposed to swinging inwards. And if it's swinging away from you, then the chance of you hitting it is actually a lot lower. So in the air, and then up. That actually looked horrible, right? Didn't that look like I was heading straight towards the party ball? No, because my last input caused the party ball to swing so far back outwards that the party ball had pretty much no chance of hitting me. So try to, obviously things will happen in the spur of the moment. You might feel like panicking a little bit because you're falling. That's all fair. But once you get really practiced with the strat, try to make sure that your last input is an up input, because then the party ball will be in the best possible position for you to enter the goal safely. And that's about it for, well, I do have to explain some common mistakes. We were talking earlier about not overcomplicating the clip. Like for example, if you try to go too fast, bad things might happen, which will make the strat a lot more nervous than it has to be. That one I was able to recover, but I accelerated so much that I had to pull back with a hard diagonal in order to make it back to the spot where I was supposed to bounce off of. Not good. And then a little bit too little speed without the slower setup will cause you to not even reach the platform you're trying to bounce off of. And then with falling, which ends up happening at the very end of the setup, the most common mistake is to not use a lot of neutral and basically just kind of be panicky with your inputs. If your inputs are like this, how can you find the goal? You can't. The goal's everywhere. You don't know where you're going. When you don't have to, don't input anything. Just input nothing, and you'll be able to see where the goal is in front of you and see what you have to do next. There's more time in the air than you might think. Try to keep that in mind. And that's about all I can explain for 48 Opera. This one takes a lot of practice because there are a lot of little situations that can come up that might surprise you if you don't go into your run with the right degree of practice for the stage. But over time, this strat will become super streamlined, super easy to pull off, and you'll have a good time with it. Anyway, that's all for me today. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.